Briggs not dead.
Well, I'm ready if no one else is.
Wait a minute, where's John at? There he is. Well, I had a crisis before. Anyway, Todd Evans. Sorry that I'm late, but Todd. Oh, where's Ryan at? Probably in the toilet. Prior. There he is.
I hope you wake some.
All right, I'm sorry I'm late, but Todd Evans and I had an interview with Vanessa from Pylon. It went a little bit late. She had some technical issues, and prior to going live, my laptop power supply died. So now I have to run this off my old iMac. So it's going to be kind of questionable. But
I was gonna say your audio is a couple seconds behind on your video.
Well, that's what we're going to have tonight.
You're still okay, Grant. You're still okay.
We're going back in time. And I don't think that the Facebook, I don't think we're going to, maybe I can go live on Facebook. Let's see.
Marty, get the lorry. We're going back.
I'm gonna go back in time. Oh.
So anyway, I'm kind of frazzled because it started out badly, but the interviews with Vanessa went really well. And we talked to her, and we're going to do a series. Todd and I are going to do a series where we're going to look at the first two Pylon albums, and we're going to have a panel discussion with other people that were involved in that era. So it was a success.
I hope people don't pile on in the comments.
Nah, we're
Pile
good.
on. There's a pun
That's
there.
funny,
folks.
Davey. That's funny.
That's
That's
a
good.
pun. You must have
That's
puns.
good.
Thank you, John. Thank you. I'm big in Japan. I don't need this.
Let me look at something. So anyway, thanks for sticking around because, when I double book stuff, that's a bit of a problem.
No, that's an important video for you to do for future videos. So,
Yeah, now we're going to do a series and to have band members on talking about their records. That's a big deal.
Talking April Wine or something, nonsense like that. I'd be a bit peeved.
So anyway, this is Grant's Rock Warehouse. This is the first episode of Friday Night Chat, even though I'm running with subpar equipment. Hopefully it will all make sense and it won't crash and burn, but we're all here. So that's all that matters. How is everybody tonight? Ryan, how are your headphones? John Clauser, how are you? Davy, you good?
I'm here. There's light. There are no storms.
Yeah. You have internet?
Is that your new computer?
Oh, yes. Those idiots at work bought me a computer. Complete idiots, complete morons. They didn't lock it. They didn't say, oh, you can't do this. I've got access to anything. Oh.
Well, that's a good sign then.
Yeah, when I drop this back, they're going to have to do some serious cleaning.
When we see Davy show up on the America's Most Wanted, we know now why.
Well, certainly. If I'm over in America, you might do, but yeah.
But anyway, just to start this out, God, boy, this runs slow.
It's okay, you're there. Records you spent.
Look at that. So the topic of tonight, even though the graphics not up to date, because we are doing the live stream right now, records you spent way more money on than you'd like to admit. So, like I said, I don't know who's all coming on here. I have no idea, but I'm trying to get this Facebook thing to work, but it's not working. What is this? Let's say 840.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, this really is a drain on your computer to run this live stream. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
It's not going to do Facebook. It's just too much for it. Doesn't matter. We're on YouTube. So anyway, who wants to start out on this? Anybody?
I can. How about I
Ryan,
start?
go. John, go.
I was gonna suggest me because I don't really have much of anything here that I would have I'm actually pretty good. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff, but most of what I've gotten here is I usually either I got it when it came out or I bought it on eBay for cheap or Amazon or whatever. But there's not a ton of stuff that I would actually spend a ton of money for. So honestly, on this particular venture, I can probably wind things up pretty quick.
That's fine.
The one thing I can probably remember that I spent a good little bit of cash for, and I've been kind of showing this off a lot here lately.
Oh yeah.
This was the Quiet Right. Now this is actually an original CBS Sony one. So this was the
Japanese
one from
pressing.
Correct.
Yeah.
It does. Unfortunately, when I bought this though, it didn't come with the Obi strip. In fact, this isn't really even the cover itself. If I took this out, which I'm not going to, the glue that holds the bottom is comes apart. I don't think this should have came with like a lyric sheet, and there's no lyric sheet in it. It's so the vinyl itself looks like it's in pretty good shape, and the cover's in pretty good shape. But yeah, I bought this in 1996, and you can't really see it because of the glare. But on the thing says $55 is what I paid for this.
Holy crap!
And I can honestly say, because of what the rarity of this thing was, I can honestly say I have never let a stereo needle touch this album in all the years I've owned this.
Well, how long have you had it?
I bought this in 1996.
And it was that much money then?
Yeah. In that condition.
I just got that one for $60 this year.
Now, conversely, y'all everybody's probably seen my videos on these. These are reissues, and these are strictly deluxe editions. Now this comes with vinyl, CD, and cassette, as well as a patch, and there's a couple of other posters and a couple of things like that. And here's the one for the second album as well. So, and I think each of these were about somewhere between $90 to $100, if I remember correctly.
Nothing, is it?
Wow.
Still, I mean, for a very limited pressing of this, like there's only 200 sets of this particular thing was made. Now you can still buy vinyl, and you can still buy CDs of this thing, but that's all that's available. But yeah, I probably spent about $90 to $100 on that whole set. But again, for a box set, something like that, that's worth paying that kind of money for. You know, the Genesis box sets, like the Genesis box sets. You know, the Peter Gabriel years and the other three that they did. Yeah, I probably got well over $100 or whatever. You know, but again, they were
like 500 now.
Oh, geez, yeah, they're really expensive if you try to find them on eBay and stuff now.
Did you say 500?
Yeah, easily.
He's right. I've seen them on eBay for really ridiculous amounts of money. It's really
but
crazy.
what you put it up on eBay and what you get from eBay.
Yeah, but you can click completed items and then see the ones in green that have actually sold. I just watched a video of someone who was talking about the Kate Bush Renaissance and how Hounds of Love, the cassette, is now going for hundreds and hundreds of dollars, whereas you could get it for $2 a couple of weeks ago. Before Stranger Things. Apparently,
But I mean, other than that, I mean, I was never one to want to go unless it was like some really, if I could find a holy grail thing for not so expensive amount of money, then that's usually when I went. Like, there was no way I was going to spend $100 or more on Quiet Riot 1 or like a sealed version of Kiss the Originals. That would be, I actually found that at a flea market for $5. And it had all the stuff in it. It was opened, but
You
it
didn't
still
buy
had
it for
all the
$5?
Oh yeah, no, I did. No, I
Oh,
had it.
okay.
I bought it. In fact, I think they got whatever money I had because I was still in high school. And I think I only had $3 on me at the time, and they took it. So, but I mean, I'd been looking for that for a long time. But I mean, I'm not one to, if I saw, like, I found like a band I've been getting into that I got into the last couple of years was a band from the Netherlands, Dutch area, called Picture. And I came across an album of theirs at a convention just earlier this year, called Eternal Dark, and I paid like $40 for that. But that's only because I just got into this band and I kind of dig them, and that's actually one of my favorite albums by those guys. So I was okay with paying that kind of money for it. Normally I wouldn't. But no, I'm not terribly bad. I just go nuts and just get too much. I probably have way too much music now I don't know when I'll ever have time to listen to this. I still have yet to listen to this.
Well,
I just
John,
haven't-
it's the same
know.
way with me. I'll
Hope you
like
like
good
it.
stuff, and I'll put
Oh.
it in the archive, and I expect that I'll get to listen to it. I've got so much stuff that
Oh.
I'll never get through it all.
Oh, I mean, I could take you on a virtual tour of this room, and it's like, yay. But to answer your question, Davey, I have listened to a few tracks from the first album, and I'm just like, wow, they mastered this pretty good. It sounded much better than I was expecting it to sound.
Do you know,
And-
John? Sorry, I think there's a bit of a lag. I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay.
So I know I remember because I have, these are bootleg versions. Yeah, these are bootleg versions on CD.
Are those
Um,
CDRs?
I believe they might have been. Yeah.
Show us and we'll see.
Yeah. Like here's I don't know if you can see it through the
If you-
glitter,
if
but
you
that's
can
Yeah,
see it.
those are CDRs. Where'd you pick those up at a record show or
eBay.
what?
eBay. Yeah, I think for the two, I think I might have paid maybe $20 for both of them, or maybe it was $20 each. I don't really remember. But But
So
and
I'm-
I've listened to them a couple of times, and they're, I mean, I don't know. It was just the fact that it was just a holy grail thing for me because I like Randy Rhoads so much. Randy was my reason for getting into guitar, so that's really the big reason I wanted to get them. Are they fantastic albums? No, not really.
No, they suck.
No, they definitely suck. But
Not
it was
not
something
what
I-
I've read. They suck. That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
I like them.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
him
I
too.
mean,
think
I
they're
think
good
for what
fits.
I think when I listen to these, I think I'm going to have a different approach to them because from the little bit I've heard, I thought they really made this. They made them sound a lot better. So I am actually really interested in listening to the rest of them. So, but
Honestly,
John, I was absolutely amazed, John, when you put up the link. The box sets had gone, but the coloured vinyl was still there. So I mean, I put in an order for those. Oh, excuse
Yeah.
me. The street sweepers are out in force tonight. Crikey, they are indeed. Listen to that.
God knows what's going on in Scotland. I have no idea.
I live on a main road. We get our streets clean for us. It's lovely. The SNP. Vote independence, folks. So the video that you put up was great to see the contents and things.
and I
And
can't
it made
believe
it
I've
made it
gotten over
seem as
200
if-
views on that silly thing.
It made it seem like why the hell did, I mean, maybe it was a licensing thing. They could only make so many of it. That's sometimes the case. But that's the kind of thing that if that was released by an American label, that would have been 2,000 copies. No problem.
Mhm.
And so many people like yourself would have bought it just for Randy, not even particularly for the music.
Right.
Yeah.
Although, obviously they want the music as well, and the CD aspect's great for that. And then you can have your nice untouched vinyl if you so wish. But yeah, it's bizarre how
Yeah.
Greek labeled of all things. I mean, it's
Yeah, I would love to know the story of why the Benallies and this particular label connected and how they could. Because
Yeah.
I've never actually heard that story. But you know, the the one thing I found, um, the Rhodes family obviously they had nothing to do with it. Um, I told you guys that Kelly Garney, who played bass on those albums,
Yeah.
actually reached out to me and thanked me for the video. And I've since we friend requested now. So, but still, that was to actually have that was amazing. But you know, but even he says I wasn't contacted about it until after I heard they were coming out.
Yeah.
So they did include an interview with him, and it was kind of like an afterthought. So you do get an interview in these box sets. It doesn't come in the regular CD, but still, he just seemed really thrilled that these came out finally as a real as a reissue, and not just some rarity thing from Japan that you could spend money on trying to find an original, or you can pay whatever for a crappy quality bootleg. You know, now you get something that people have actually worked on. They, you know, they took the time to master them good. I think these were tapes done that, you know, when Dubrow was working on those Randy Rhoads Years CDs, well, CD, because there was supposedly a second one, but they scrapped it because I think Mrs. Rhodes didn't want this to happen.
Oh,
So,
gotcha.
you know, because Randy hated those albums. He looking back, he said, "Oh, please don't tell anybody where you can find these things." But I think there's certainly glimmers of brilliance there that you can see that you would eventually hear on the two Ozzy albums. And just because his discography is so limited,
Mm.
that was really the big reason. One of the big reasons the Benallies really wanted to get this out there is, you know, for anything, just for the Randy folks, but just for the history of Quiet Riot itself. You know, yeah, Frankie had nothing to do with those albums as far as musicians, but he owned the right to the music, to all the Quiet Riot music, so why not?
It's one of those things, isn't it, where you think once the albums are out there, they don't belong to Randy Rhoads' family. I mean, rights can be beyond, obviously, but music itself, once you put it out there, it's out there. It's the public's. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the public. You may have the rights to the actual recordings, but I think, you know, I'm more with them to compare to another guitarist of the similar era who also had a very short discography in life, Tommy Bolin. There's a million Tommy Bolin releases. So his estate are completely the opposite. You can get the most awful sounding Tommy Bolin stuff, or you can get big, massive box sets of Tommy Bolin stuff. And he wasn't much older than Randy. But he'd already done jazz fusion, deep purple, so it's horses for courses, really. Yeah, but Greece, that's what I'd kind of like to know the answer to that one. Why Greece?
Yeah, and you know, the funny thing is I had bought something from this record label previous, because they worked with another band called Warlord, and they had released something of theirs, and I was a big Warlord fan, still am. So I just got on the mailing list. I got on the email list. I followed the Facebook page. So when I saw them post about this, and then they said, "Oh wow, here's the dates when this is going to go. The pre-sales will start." I'm like, I'm on it.
Yeah, can you imagine how peeved you would have been if you'd have seen that
Oh,
like 2 months later when somebody posts it online?
like a lot of people are probably right now. Like I look on that Randy Rhoads group that I shared it to, and I'm sure there's many people out there that were wishing they could have gotten their hands on this thing.
Yeah,
Or of either of these
things.
Down in there. But you know, but yeah, so that would honestly be really all I would be able to offer to the way too much money spent. I certainly have looked at certain ones and said, yeah, that'd be nice, but you're not going to see me paying $100+ for it, or anything like that. Like, you know, there was a time that I would have actually paid money just to have gotten, and this is awful for me to say this, the Scorpions album, The Virgin Killer, you know. Yeah, there was a time in my life I would have paid the $100 or something for that.
John, I'm taking over the channel. Just hello,
here for crying out loud. I hit the wrong button.
Whoops. Anyway,
And this,
but
everything's running very slowly on my end too.
yeah. Maybe another album that I could consider, depending on what kind of condition is, would be Buckingham Knicks. Yeah, I tend to see that a lot in the wild when I go to conventions.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah,
why
but-
is that? Why is that not on CD? But
Well, it's on seat as
Knicks,
bootleg.
oh yeah, bootlegs, yes, but never,
Yeah.
never an official release. Again, like the Quiet Riot albums,
Because
never
those
got an
two-
official
those two
release
have-
on
those two
CD
have,
until now.
a rather fractious relationship to say the least.
Oh yeah, absolutely now for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah,
You're
there's-
right.
but yeah, after that, no, I'm pretty good with that. I pretty much will buy it for whatever the going price is, or if I can find it for less, I do that. But nah. So I don't have as many sins to confess. So so.
If we're talking
By the way,
sins,
Ernesto, hi.
on him.
Ernesto, how's it going? Are you still with us?
Hey, Ernesto.
Just wanted to say.
Have we bored you to death?
Ernesto's like our biggest fan.
I know he's
We
great.
appreciate him for that.
Hola,
He's
Ernesto.
always here.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan, what do you have any sins you want to confess?
Oh, I have
Music-
a lot.
music related.
I have a
Well,
lot of.
Why don't
sins.
you share some with us?
All right, guys, get comfy. It's gonna be a while.
Should I go get a drink?
Probably.
Should go get a
Um,
kiss.
but
I
all
think
right,
I
so
might go
first-
get a drink.
Cool.
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna start off with one that I got when I was younger. I got hoodwinked. Spent too much money because I didn't know what I was doing at the time. Scorpions and Trance.
Okay.
So
Is that the domestic pressing of that? Right?
it's a 1983 reissue, which is what I didn't know.
Oh, geez.
Okay. So how much did you spend on that?
Well,
Go ahead.
3 digits.
75.
Mm.
75.
Holy mackerel.
Well, I thought it was an original. So and so I bought it because I had never seen it out in the wild before. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna run into this again. And I love the album, so I bought it. I was pretty mad afterwards when I looked it up and realized it was a reissue, but you know what? It's a great album, so I'm not gonna get too mad about it. It's one of the
Sometimes you need to make the
Scorpions'
mistakes to learn from them. I mean, you won't do that again. Well, you've got the albums, why would you? But you'll always check the matrices and things.
Yeah. My next one is Black Crowes, Shake Your Money Maker.
Great album.
So this is an original pressing of this. I got it maybe about a year ago. $100.
No.
I remember when you could buy that new for $5.99.
Yeah, that was a bargain bin classic.
Whew.
Well,
It was a
I do have to
no, Davey, you're right. It was a bargain bin classic. How much did you pay for
Yeah.
that, Ryan?
100. But here's the thing I will
Oh.
say.
Did the entire band sign it?
No.
I mean, were there bodily fluids on it?
Oh.
What? How? Why was it so much?
I mean, because it's a 90s record and it's scarce now, and it was literally last year.
I
remembered
do
it-
have something to show the class, but I have to get up and get it.
Because you mentioned signed by all the band members, I do have one that is signed by all the band members.
Okay.
So first off, I'll show you the certificate of authenticity right there. The record is Murmur by REM.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh
signed
God.
by all the
Oh.
band members, including Michael Stipe.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you probably got the drummer that since has passed away too, have you?
Well,
everybody's on
Bill
here.
Barry's
Oh,
not
Bill
passed
Barry.
away.
He didn't pass away. Okay. Why did I think he passed away?
Well, he had an aneurysm during the Monster tour, and then he retired.
Yeah. Right.
But
okay.
he recovered. He recovered from that.
Okay.
He left the band. He's dead to John.
Okay. I don't know why I thought I heard he had passed away, but my bad. Okay. Sorry.
Let's go kill him.
Ernesto, I'm raising the peace goblet to you. Look at the goblet. Look at the goblet.
Unfortunately, all I can give you is water.
I'm raising the goblet to you, Ernesto. Thanks for showing up.
This video is brought to you by PepsiCo. PepsiCo. Refreshing.
So yeah,
But I do have something to share if I can find it real quick. But you guys keep going. Go ahead. This is fascinating, Ryan. The way you've wasted all this money on these things, it's amazing.
No, but this is good. This is what the show was,
It's right. He's cleansing his soul.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
testify, brother. Testify.
Testify.
So guys, I do have to say though, I don't always just spend cold hard cash on all these. Sometimes I'll trade stuff in for store credit for them. A lot of these are actually like that. Most of the time it's not like right out of my pocket that I get these. A couple times it has been, but that one was one for.
You don't have to you don't have to go into detail.
No, you
don't have to tell us the reason. Right. You
Yeah,
don't have to go into detail.
So the REM one was $149 because
holy cheesy.
Yeah, if that's an authentic signed one, that's not a lot of money for REM. For
I got my version of Murmur for $3.
Yeah, I could get it cheap too, but it's not signed. Yours isn't signed by Michael Stipe.
My promo poster is signed by all the band.
Nice.
No, it's not. I'm lying.
So next up is Black Flag, My War. This one was 100.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You're going to pay that for a Black Flag album these days.
Yeah, it's such a great album, though. It's one of my favorites of all time. Another one that I got with store credit is Nola by Down.
I don't know what that is.
It's a 90s doom metal band.
It features Phil Anselmo from Pantera. It was
I'm
kind of like a druggy, doomy kind of sound.
They're a good band. They're a good band.
Ernesto, do you know this band? For crying out loud, where's Ernesto at?
This one was 80.
I wouldn't give you $2 for that thing.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a great record, Grant.
I've heard a lot of good things about it.
You're getting into that era though, where they were pressing so few vinyl for records, for new albums. So
yeah, that's a 95 pressing.
So you
I would buy that dog and buy it cheap and turn it around and make a profit. Is what I would have done with that. If I could. Oh goodness gracious!
Hey, listen.
Hey, I just want to say I've done a lot of programs with Ryan. Not now, not anymore.
Well, listen, I was spitting out the PE tracks earlier on, so I am totally down with hip hop. No problem.
I thought Ryan really was okay. Now he's not. No.
Look, Ryan, what did you pay for it, Ryan?
This was 70.
Yeah.
You paid 70 for Notorious B.I.G.?
Yeah.
It's an original pressing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, who cares about Notorious B.I.G.?
Apart from half of the well, no, I don't know. A quarter of the youth of America probably rap's still massive.
Oh well, I'm old, so I don't.
Yeah. He's
there. Look, my music corner from Down to Notorious B.I.G. How
we've got classic here.
I'm cheating. I'm in the chat room and I'm in here too. So there you go.
I like that. That we're making comments to Ryan. Oh well, Maggot Brain. That's a different story.
Ryan, yeah. I will give you another bit on Patreon if you recite the bit from the start of the title track.
I'm gonna go look for something. Don't leave.
Come on. Mother Earth is pregnant for the third time, for y'all have knocked her up. Remember that?
Yeah, well, I know some of it. And you
Oh, you don't know the album?
And you'll drown in your own shit.
Yeah.
I know this. Yeah.
You know the story about Eddie Hazel's guitar solo in that? How he
Yes,
was
I
told
do.
to play- Yeah, that for people that don't know, tell them the story. That's such a good story.
So he was having a little psychedelic experience, and George Clinton told him to play the guitar like his mom just died, and that's how he got the guitar solo on Maggot Brain. This
Yeah,
was
halfway
70.
through, he told him on through his earphones. He said, "Your mum's alive. She's back," and that's why the guitar starts sounding totally different halfway through it.
Yeah,
Genius, George Clinton, genius.
definitely. Yes, that's another one.
Oh, that is one of. Oh, yes.
Yeah, Velvet Underground's self-titled third album from 1969. This is an excellent album.
Fave track.
My favorite track, probably Pale Blue Eyes.
I won't quite join you there, but Jesus, help me find my proper one. I love that song.
That's a great tune. They're all so good on here.
Yeah.
I love it. All the albums from the 70s of this band and the 60s.
I love everything except for the last one with no original members whatsoever. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But this one was.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, right. No, Grant, beat it. No.
What is?
No, do you know what this is?
That's Eric Clapton.
That's Eric Clapton's 24 Nights.
Yeah.
I know, but do you know what this is?
I mean, it looks like somebody else drew on it. I don't remember that. I
you
don't remember
know
that.
What year did this come out?
That came out in 1991-ish, 92.
Okay. What also happened in 1991?
Mikhail Gorbachev stood down as
No.
premier of
They
Russia.
quit pressing vinyl in 91.
No.
I know you're going to get all technical, but
No, they didn't.
what was
have
okay? Let me rephrase this. What was the last? Okay, when this came out in 91, could you go to the stores and buy this on LP?
Right,
I had it
will,
on CD.
I will excuse myself and say I need to remember we're in different continents again. So yeah. Okay,
All right, let's say you're in the United States. Could you go to the record store and buy this on vinyl in 91?
Well, if I'm in the United States, I'll probably get a gun and do it because that's all we hear about you guys over here. So yeah.
All right, the answer is that no, this never came out on vinyl in 91. However, this is a vinyl pressing from 91.
Nice.
But it never came out on vinyl in 91. I'm just going to let you guys think about that for a second. Well, how come Grant has a record from 91 that never was? No.
Yeah.
I know this is fun, but look at the back of it. Look at, there's no barcode on it.
Oh,
Right,
wow.
so it's a record company promo.
You're getting close.
Yeah, you slept with Eric Clapton.
I did. I did. This is trivia. So if anybody has any, I don't know what Ernesto's talking about.
It's certainly trivial. I'm not sure about trivia.
This was the technically last record you could ever get through a Columbia record house on vinyl.
That's Columbia Record House is American.
Yes, it never was released on any other medium in 91 other than Columbia Record House on vinyl. Now go out and try to buy one of these. Look at this. It's got all the inserts.
Wow.
There's the label. I mean, it's beautiful. But this was the last vinyl pressing available through Columbia Record House. Just thought I'd throw it out there. Not that it cost me a lot of money, but, well, it cost me a little bit. It's rare. It did cost me a couple of bucks. Not that I'm a big Eric Clapton guy, but it was mint.
Andy Feuer-the-Low's in the band there, isn't he?
Who?
Andy Feuer-the-Low.
I don't know if he might have been on that album.
I don't know. Maybe
Should be.
Albert Lee's on it. I don't know.
He was certainly touring with Clapton in the early 90s.
Well, it's got a lot of different people on it.
Yeah, because it's his Albert Hall show, isn't it? From
Yeah.
from the,
Recorded at Royal Albert Hall, London, 90 and 91. But like I said, it's a rare. Because think about it, Columbia House in 91. Who was ordering records in 91? Nobody. But it's mint. It's a beautiful record. So just thought I'd share that. Oh, God, my wife's on here. Who's she talking to? Eric. Oh, for God's
Yeah,
sake.
he does.
Wife,
He actually does live near Columbus. Yeah.
See, look at that, John. My wife's tuning in to see what I'm up to.
on this show, probably how much you've spent, more likely.
Well,
I'd be scared if my wife did that, but then again, she could probably hear me in the next room. So
I'm just saying she's probably bored. But I did buy that, and that's where you have to admit this is something to hang on to, and the price is just going to increase. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
Ryan, what else do you got?
Got Super Unknown, original pressing from 1994.
Fantastic.
This one actually was not a bad price based off what it's worth. And it was another store credit purchase, so I didn't like ruin my wallet from it. But it was $100. It's worth like $200 on Discogs, like median.
Oh,
price.
I had that. I bought it brand new back when it came out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got it for like $9 back in the day. How much did you say that's going for now?
Well, it goes for like 200, 300, but I got it for 100.
Maybe I ought to sell mine. Sounds like I better turn that around.
Yeah, when Chris died, they were going for crazy prices.
Yeah, this one too was a decent amount, we'll say. I have it on cassette too. I love this album.
Oh, I've got something else to pull.
But
you guys keep going. I'll be right back.
This is another one I traded some stuff in for because I saw it at the record store. And I was like, oh, crap, I really want that. So I got rid of some junk in my collection, or junk to me, but was still worth money because this thing was $200.
Hey, if we bump off Eddie Vedder, that'll be worth more than that.
Yeah. This is an original pressing, though, original US.
I'll tell you, that album can do no wrong for me.
Yeah,
me neither.
Love that album, but
but
if they had broken up after that came out, I would have been okay because I have never been able to get into anything else they did after that.
I love Versus.
Me too.
Yeah,
I like Versus.
I tried. I just couldn't get into it.
In fact,
same with Vitalogy. I just couldn't get into it.
I stayed with them until as late as the self-titled from 2006. I love that record.
The Melvins?
Oh, Melvins. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan, you should get your hair like the guy from the Melvins. That'd be awesome.
Buzz. Yeah.
Hey, Ryan could grow his hair like that.
Yeah,
he could do it.
I have. But this is another one that I had to,
full-blown fro.
I had to trade some stuff in for this one because I never could have afforded it with my actual money. But this is an original 1992 pressing of Lysol by the Melvins. It has the duct tape over here on this side covering up the title Lysol, like all the releases did at that point. But this one was like $200.
Holy, the Melvins? You spent $200 on the Melvins?
Dude, this is like a unicorn.
Oh, I'm judging. I'm sorry. You are free of your sins. Yeah.
And then one more I have.
Go ahead. Oh, I've got that too.
Yeah.
Original pressing.
It is original US pressing.
And I've
This
got an
one was-
original pressing of the second album too.
Nice. This one was 90.
No, I bought mine for I think it was $8.99. New at Best Buy. Believe it or
Well,
not.
luck. I wish I grew up at that point.
Yeah, you
I
probably
would've-
weren't born yet.
No, I was born in 97, so 2 years before.
Oh my God.
2 years after.
My son's a year older than you.
Man,
Year
I was
younger
going
than
through,
you. My son's a year younger than you.
I was
Oh,
going
wow.
through the darkest time of my life in the summer of '97. So, geez, man, now I really feel old.
All right, I'm going to throw this out there for the hell of it. This is an original pressing of the David Gilmore album. Now, I know it was going for big bucks before they reissued it. Davey, what's that noise? What?
That is music to fall asleep to, man. The Dave Gilmore on an island. That is the most dull as this.
It doesn't matter. But how much does an original pressing of this go for, Ryan? You're in the record store.
Maybe I'm
You're in the
old-fashioned.
record business.
I buy things
Why-
that I like, not because they're going to be worth money. Maybe I'm old-fashioned.
My
I'm not judging. I'm just asking.
I don't think you're looking for absolution here.
Just wondered. Ryan knows. Look, he's looking on
I'm
his
looking.
phone. I thought he worked at a record
my
store.
guess would be
Throw out a number.
my guess would probably be like $20, but I'm looking.
Yeah, I wish they hadn't have repressed it because that kind of ruined the market for it.
My favorite
I
version
see-
of the album is just the live one from Gdansk, where he does the whole album.
Oh, yawn.
No, but this has got some good stuff on it because, you know,
It's
he
boring.
plays some Pink
Boring.
Floyd stuff.
Wait a minute, Ernesto's saying something. God, this is running slow. Great album. See, I got a thumbs up from Ernesto because he's my.
Do you know why it's
when
great?
did
Because Graham Nash and David Crosby are both on it. That's the greatest thing about that record.
When did you get that?
This when it came out. What year did this come out?
2006.
I think
Yeah, I
might
got
be
it
a
when it came
boot-
out. This isn't a bootleg. I bought it when it came out at a record
I don't know.
store.
I'm not seeing an old pressing of it.
This is why you don't know what's going on. Made in Holland. It was pressed in Holland.
One
Oh,
second.
it's legit.
Holland's actually just a region. The Netherlands is the country. Mr. Clouser had it correct earlier on. So, geography points for John.
What did I do?
You
I
said
don't know.
Netherlands rather than Holland.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Yeah, but it
They-
says
seriously.
Made in Holland on the record.
Yeah.
Oh,
see,
this
Holland's
is
just-
legit.
I don't know, dude. I'm not seeing any releases of it before 2006, even in Europe.
like,
It's not a bootleg. I bought it at a record store. Legit.
Wait,
Wait,
Well,
look. Wait.
whoever
we've got
ZF
comments.
is, they're saying it's legit. So
Look.
sold it for big bucks. Yeah, you
That's
sold
it.
it for
That's what
grand
I've
for big
got.
bucks. Poster mint. Well, you get a
See?
mint in it as well. Or sorry, I have the mint poster. All right.
Do you want me to have to pull out the poster? Jesus.
What is it? Is it Dave with a black T-shirt and denims? Oh,
No,
that would be
it's
a
Dave.
surprise, wouldn't it?
It's Dave sitting in a chair, kind of slumped back, shirtless.
Well, now I'm turned on. Actually, early 70s Dave was
Look,
pretty.
you
Let's be honest.
think this is a bootleg? This is a poster.
Well, because you can't bootleg posters, you know. Never done
Come
that.
on, you guys are assholes. Look,
Oh, look, oh,
Oh,
black
Ryan
T-shirt.
Bobby has a shirt on.
Black T-shirt. Can we see that again? Did I call that or? What was he wearing there? Black T-shirt and denims. Hello. Thank you. Thank you.
see,
He's like Batman.
it's
That's his
legit.
costume.
I just don't see it on
Zeb,
Discogs.
One big fucking poster in it. See,
Yeah.
come on, man, don't doubt me. I'm a professional.
Well, you
I'm
know,
not doubting you.
this box has got a custom guitar pick and a replica postcard and backstage pass.
You sure that's
I
not
mean-
a bootleg?
No, if I ever time travel, I'm going to go to this show in Gdansk. Anybody know where Gdansk is? Come on, geography test.
Alright.
Nobody? Poland. Come on, people.
Zieb, though, has my back. Oh, look who's coming on, boys. Who do you think is in the waiting room?
Dave Gilmore?
Brett.
Martin Popoff.
Well, we're close.
Hey,
Marco.
Marco! Hello.
How's everybody doing?
Look who's joined us.
And look who's brought with them. Look who's behind them. Marco, watch out. Watch out, Marco. He's right behind you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having us. How's everybody doing?
Doing good, Marco.
Well, we're just hanging out, Marco. You know how it is.
We're
everybody.
making fun of each other.
What did oh, look how slow that's running.
There's a 2015 press on LP.
Yeah. Hey, Zeb, does that have the poster in it?
Because that's what the kids
Is it,
want.
is it Zeb or Zeb or what? Because mine's got, well, obviously mine has the poster, but did the repress have the poster? Get in the chat and let us know.
Grant.
Yes.
Did that album come out? That album came out in 2006.
Yeah, 2006. And
well, that's when I got it.
As much as I've been dogging on Grant, I saw that tour. So
it looks like you go for like 60 to like 90 bucks.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, it went for a lot more before they did the repress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a side effect of the repressing, isn't it? Sometimes the record store day version comes out and just kills the value of that.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm butchering Zeb. Wait a minute. God, this is running slow. Marco probably didn't see the repress. Not sure. Zeb, not Z. I don't know what that
Zeb,
is.
not Zeb. So it's Zeb.
Like Zeb Coulter.
All right, Zeb, you're cool. I didn't mean to butcher
us,
Zeb Coulter. Hey, Dutch man tell.
So Marco, Todd and I had a big interview with Vanessa from Pylon, and before the Pylon interview, I did get it recorded, but my laptop, the power supply on it, you know how the power supplies, the cord will get a short in it. My laptop got a short in the cable. So normally I'm doing this on my laptop, not on this 2009 iMac. So Murphy's Law, of course, we had a big interview, and of course, everything went to hell.
Yeah, go figure.
But it was okay, I guess.
I showed up when I met Martin back when I was working on this documentary. When I showed up, we didn't have a memory card to save the interview on. Later on, I found I'm an idiot with technology, and I bought this high-powered camera, and I didn't know how to save the footage onto the camera itself and export it later. So I was freaking out because we showed up to Martin's office in Toronto. He's got gold records on the wall, and I don't have a memory card to record this interview, So I know the pain when you're starting out with stuff like that. I know what the pain feels like. But you start you start going, you get those things, you start crossing all your T's, dotting your I's later, and it's just like you go through it like butter, it works out. You get more and more professional.
I mean, we got it recorded. It went a little long, but it's okay. I mean, if you're doing an interview with somebody, you've just got to go with it. You know what I mean? Just saying.
Right.
But it was great. So I will tell you what we discussed. I proposed that. Said, Vanessa, since we have you today, I'm going to propose something, because the original scope of the whole thing that what Todd and I were going to do, I don't know if Todd's going to show up. Todd's on Rush Fans tonight, so he may show up in a little bit. I don't know. The whole scope was Todd and I were going to look at the Pylon catalog and discuss it. And I thought, well, why, Peter Kerr and I got the guy from the Knack. Let me reach out to somebody from Pylon and let's see if Ernesto wants to go back to records. Hold on, Ernesto. Calm down.
Hey, you called him your favorite commenter. I think Ernesto deserves a little bit of respect.
I love Ernesto.
Good for you, Ernesto. You tell him to stay on topic. This is. Hey, if you want to see
Marco, I'm talking to Marco. Now I don't remember what I was saying.
But you're talking about the interview.
All right, the interview. Yeah.
with Pylon and
Pylon. All right. So I talked to Vanessa, and what we're going to do, the original scope of the series was Todd and I were going to look at their catalog. While I talked to Vanessa, so now we're going to do a series with Vanessa and some other band members, hopefully, and look at their catalog like one episode a month.
nice, good idea.
That's great, but can you imagine if you didn't like the catalogue of someone and you've already made that arrangement? I mean, imagine we had Dave in here.
But Davey, have you heard Pylon at all? Are you familiar with them?
No, but I'm saying in general, you've kind of limited yourself if you go, do you know, this is the one that I really think is crap,
Well, there's not much to the Pylon catalog, so
3 main
but
albums.
it'll be
I
fun.
think.
Oh, he's quite again.
All right, so now we
David,
can
folks,
now we can go back
welcome
to
to
some
Contrarians.
records.
Marco, it's your
for
show.
Resto.
Well,
All right,
I assumed we were talking about items that we purchased that we maybe not regretted, but we had spent a little bit more than we wish to admit that we did. I actually brought something.
Oh, I'm here. I did it again.
Okay, well, we'll throw the host back to Grant then.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to buy a power. Oh wait a minute.
Yeah, Ryan, were you still?
I'm
going,
gonna have to
Ryan?
buy a power supply tomorrow.
No, I confessed
Just
all
keep
of
your
my
hands off it.
sins.
Well, we can get back to records. Ryan, do you have anything else to share?
No, I'm absolved.
Davey, do you have anything?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I didn't know specifically
Because
talking about-
Ernesto needs to get his fix.
Hey, listen, Ernesto, don't worry. I'll move this thing along. We're not going to repeat stuff like people can just reverse the start of the video. Come on, right? So what my approach was is exactly as Marco just said. Things that, hey, I like them, but I paid too much in most cases. I did find something that actually is a piece of doggerel. Can we use any kind of bad language here? Where's the policy?
I don't have a policy.
Oh, good. So I found some real pieces of shit, showers of shite, if you will, that I'd like to confess. So we'll kind of come to those in a few moments. Do you mean no limits at all? Because I've got some real bad language.
Unless someone else on this particular chat is offended, I'm not offended. So
That's
I
fine.
mean,
Well, I'll save the.
you might have to ask Ryan. Ryan's very sensitive.
Oh, yes,
No, I'm not.
I've seen the chat. Well, anyway,
It's just
I'm not gonna
words,
go
so
into
you're
it more. But of course, the worst thing that you can possibly get confessed to is this pile of crap.
Hey,
This
Rand likes that.
Right. I know he does. Okay, and here's why he's wrong. It's crap. It's bullshit, and the best thing on it is a stolen song. I know I did bring this up when he mentioned it on Sea of Tranquility last week, but the Ice Bridge was the lead single, and everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people said this is the best thing Yes have done in years. Wow. And then about a week later, it turns out Jeffrey Downs stole the music, completely ripped it off from a collaboration he'd done in the 1970s. So the best thing on this album is stolen, and the rest of it is petty theft. So, yeah, this is the Super Deluxe box set of something that's not very super, shouldn't be deluxe, and it comes with about 5 different versions of the album. Unfortunately, none of them are silent. So that's a sin against humanity more than just a sin that I'd like to be absolved for. One actually, and I'm glad Marco's here because we were kind of going back and forth on the Contrarians Patreon on it, was, and this is just out this last couple of weeks, the CD Blu-ray of Whitesnake's Greatest Hits. And I was bitching about this because when you're a fan and you're a completist, this is where most of my things are going to go, completism. Having to have it all from people you like, even when you don't particularly like that era of somebody. So this is the 3rd time in 3 years that Dave Coverdale has remixed his own catalogue. He did it for all these box sets, the Slide It Ins and 87 and all those ones. Did it for Restless Heart and things. They were great. But then he also did it for those compilations, the Love albums, the Blues album, the Rock album. And then this year, wouldn't you know, he just happened to discover, sitting, I don't know, in his toilet, that he had some unreleased John Sykes music that he could throw on this and say, wow, look, guys, I found unreleased John Sykes. And I forgot to put it in the box set. But look, you can buy it now. You can buy it now, folks. It's John Sykes. Wouldn't you like it? And then we all went, oh, Dave, why are you doing this? And bought it. But one of the most bizarre things about this is the Blu-ray gives you all the music videos. That's not particularly bizarre. But one of the bonus features is Dave does his own unboxing videos on YouTube of all his box sets and albums. So you get those on this Blu-ray. So you get to watch Dave talk about the other remixes that you don't get on this. It's the most bizarre little, here's what you aren't taking home with you tonight. Doggerel. And he also has Derek Sherinian come in to play new stuff all over this. So there's new Derek Sherinian as well. He had Adrian Vandenberg stuff added onto it as well. I'm quite surprised there isn't a massive hype sticker on top of it just saying John Sykes, and then you can at least sell it as a new John Sykes record, since John's apparently never going to release his own.
He's still stuck on the milk carton.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. He's still on the milk carton.
Still stuck in the 1980s, more like. But that's kind of where I was going more with it, was the idea of I like these people, and actually these new versions are good, but it's you've just remixed them twice in the last 2 years, DC. What you doing? What you doing? Come on. But they've got the goodbye tour at the moment, don't they? So they have to have something for the merch tables that people don't already own. So yeah. So my next idea was, again, going on the idea of completionism.
Hey, but Davy.
What?
Zeb's giving you some shit if you didn't see that.
And you bought the deluxe edition version, Lord knows I've tried to enjoy it. It's better than Heaven and Earth. Well, look, a kick in the balls is better than Heaven and Earth. But but yes, released one album, and I'll go back for this album any day, in the 2010s, and it's the Redux version of Fly From Here, and that is the best Yes album in 35 years easily. So the one with Trevor Horn on vocals, and do you know why it's great? Because Trevor had the music written in 1980. That's why he's great.
Well, I love Trevor. I love Trevor's work.
But that's what I just said. I love Trevor.
I'm just saying.
I'm a Buggles fanatic. I adore Trevor's production, The House of Noise. I love his stuff with ABC. I love his stuff with Grace Jones. Trevor's a genius, an absolute genius. I think he's produced something insane, like 100 number one records in the UK, because he right up to like, do you remember those Russian lesbians? What were they called? All the things she said, run it through my head. Remember them? That was even Trevor Horn. Like, he was still going right through 2000.
The Russian lesbians?
You must remember them. Were they not a thing in America? What were they called?
I don't think that was a hit here. Maybe in the
It was in Canada for sure. That was especially the music video, I think.
Yeah, because they kissed. That was their whole thing. Like, oh, they're lesbians, and it turned out they were both married. Yeah, not to each other, to men. Not that there's anything wrong with women being married to men.
No. Yeah, right.
I think I've confused myself there. So, I was supposed to manage some.
I googled them. They're called Tattoo.
Tattoo. That's
Tattoo. Yeah,
I googled them though. I didn't know it off the top of my head.
If
I kept
you
thinking
Google
Evanescence,
Russian lesbians,
but
you'll get some
definitely
fantastic results. But sorry, I just realised that I just said that. My next idea was brought on by conversations that Grant and Ryan and I've had, and it comes back to the idea of why am I a completionist for the sake of like, bands that I love? One of my favourite bands of all time, the Beach Boys. So even crap like Stars and Stripes Volume 1, so crap there was never a Volume 2.
Oh my God. Yeah. Really? Ugh.
Really what? You need to add something on. You need to add some adjectives and verbs to make a sentence. What really what?
That's horrible stuff.
Yeah, it's Willie Nelson's actually quite good at doing warmth of the sun. I'll give him that. But yeah, but again, that goes right back to the 80s. I mean, there's the two for keeping the summer alive and the beach. So yeah, you have all the bad albums, right? And there's the Japanese version of Rarities and the Beach Boys medley, and the compilations where you get one unreleased Beach Boys song, but you have to buy a whole bloody album of 90s versions of the band live. With somebody we'll come to in a second, who's the crux of this. This I don't mind because it's Blondie Chaplin's solo record from Japan, and Blondie did the vocals on Sailor. Love his voice. Al Jardine, Family and Friends. Remember Wilson Phillips, the 80s band who were Brian's daughters and Michelle Phillips from the Mamas and the Papas daughters? They're the Family and Friends. That's pretty cool. But here's where we get to. Actually, there's a couple of Bruce Johnson albums as well, but you know what ifs? What ifs? This is where we come to why I hate myself and wish I was always dead. Because I own, and I think I've got more. I hate this guy so much. Mike Love's 12 Sides of Summer.
Oh, wait a minute. LP Tremors is here. Shit, I can't see him though. Wait a minute.
Mike Love's Reason for the Season, a Christmas album from Mike Love. Unleash the love with Mike unleashing a dove of peace. Because, you know, Mike Love, peace and love. I don't know. But he did do one album. He did the soundtrack from... No, he didn't do that, actually. That's nonsense. But this is one of the worst things I've ever heard. This is just as bad. But this is so bad that... Plus, there's a hype sticker on it that says, featuring Mike Love from the Beach Boys, as opposed to Mike Love from the Rolling Stones. Make love, not war. So that is an example of I've listened to them. They made me physically ill. I will never listen to them again. I hate Mike Love. I've never liked Mike Love. I never will like Mike Love. And if he puts out more albums, I'll keep buying them. And then, let's see. This is one that I thought was more of an interesting notion. And everything's more interesting than Mike Love. But it's when bands put out their own stuff themselves through their websites or through their fan club, whatever, but for some reason triple the price that you would pay for a normal release. And I think it kind of started with Elvis, because he was dead at the time, unfortunately, so he wasn't terribly involved in the process. But they started Follow That Dream, which was a kind of fan club series of Elvis releases, which, you know, started great, but they ended up doing soundboards where it sounds like you're listening to Elvis singing The Next Town Over. But the main person who I love him.
How did you get your hand on those?
What?
Where can I get my hands on those?
You can come here and have them if you want. But no, Elvis Follow That Dream. FTDs, they're called, just FTDs, because Follow That Dream is the name of the 1964 Elvis movie. God, I sound like I really like Elvis, and I'm not that big of that. But the real person.
Well, I don't.
Sorry. If nobody's going to talk, I'm not sorry. The real person I wanted to bring up as an example of this, I don't want to say price gouging, because I love this guy. I love him so much that he's the complete opposite of Mike Love. I adore him. He's probably one of my spirit gurus. And I've not really got a spirit, so that's saying something. But it's Donovan. And he puts out records himself, and they're just in little sleeves. There's nothing on, it's nothing at all. So people think Donovan made his last records with Rick Rubin. Remember, Rick Rubin tried to do his Johnny Cash shit with Donovan with an album called Citras in the 90s. This is Donovan doing his own stuff and releasing it himself, and for some reason thinks he can get away with charging £35 an album. That's about $50 US. I really don't know, but I buy them because here's Donovan sings the hits of Harry Belafonte. Why do I own this? I mean, why didn't
Wait a minute. Whoa. You're saying Donovan is singing Harry Belafonte?
Yeah. So and he starts with
Why?
Jumping Behind, and then next song, Dale. Island in the Sun, willed to me by my father's hand. But then he also does stuff like Where Have All the Flowers Gone, which you can expect Donovan to do. That's a nice hippie song, isn't it? Shenandoah, the first time ever I saw your face, it made me sick. And then there is one original at the end. But this is only released on his website. And he lives in Ireland. But I don't want to dog on Donovan because I adore him. And if he charged £100, I'd still buy them because I just adore Donovan. And he was the nicest person ever when I met him. Like, super nice, because he heard my voice. This was a show in England. And he's as uncomfortable in England as I am because, we're Scots. So he heard my accent and we had a 20-minute conversation where he held the line up and we had a brilliant chat because he's a Glasgow boy as well. So I won't criticise Donovan too much. But what was the other one I was really thinking of here? Yes, this was one where you think the difference we were talking between, yes, it's a heck of a lot of money, but I'm always going to buy this. It's, if I can even lift it, because it's a behemoth. Neil Young's Archives, Volume 1, which is Blu-ray audio, and Blu-ray, it's all Blu-ray, so you don't get any CDs in here, it's all Blu-ray. But you get like concert stuff. It features his early stuff with the Minor Birds, which, believe it or not, was a band he was in before Buffalo Springfield with Rick James. That Rick James, super freak. When Rick James drafted the Dodge, he went to Canada, and they formed a band together, the Minor Birds. So this has got Neil's stuff from 65-ish to 72, all on Blu-ray audio. And there's some amazing stuff in here. It's a real treasure trove. Here's the problem. It was £350 from you. And now you won't get this for under about £500, £600. So, $700, something like that. Volume 1 on Blu-ray.
Has that got Time Fades Away on it?
No, because that's on. Hang on. That's on Volume 2. But here's where Neil pissed me off. And he doesn't piss me off often because I love me some shaky. He did not release this one on Blu-ray. It was CD only. So after making such a big deal, I don't know how many of you keep up with Neil Young, but he makes such a big deal about high-res audio. He launched his own HD audio thing called Ponyo about 10 years ago. It was a massive flop. But he made a hoopla about don't buy the CD version of Archives Volume 1, buy the Blu-ray version. It's how you should hear these tracks. And then Volume 2 comes out and it's on the CDs. So, however, Volume 3 is due out in the spring, and it's going back to Blu-ray, so that'll be something to look forward to. So there's that one. Now, I'm not going to get political here, okay, but I'm going to put this. I did want to mention these as a pair. This is Van Morrison's latest record project from last year. Now, I've always been a big Van the Man fan. Has anybody been keeping up with what Van's opinions have been like the last couple of years? Anybody?
Yeah.
I have not.
Yeah, let's not go into it, but let's just say...
John's hip to Van's scene.
Let's just say he's probably not going to be on this channel because he'll be too busy and queuing on. I think that's Van's scene these days. So this album comes out. So it's 24 tracks, 2 CDs, and it's one of the most. And I'm not saying this to be funny, to be amusing, because I'm never either of those things. but this is one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard in my life. No, seriously, he is racist. He is sexist. He criticizes people for going on Facebook. Well, literally, one of the tracks is called "Why Are You on Facebook?" That's literally the name of one of the songs. There's a track called "Western Man," where he talks about how the Western man needs to learn to fight because the invaders are coming. And you think, right, I'm sure we can rely on you, Van. You'll be first on the lines there, you 75-year-old boring old bastard. But right, he goes, right, I'm not. If you think I'm exaggerating about this, I want people to look up lyrics for every one of these tracks, because you fucking get the lyrics of every one of these tracks, and I reread them today. Right? And Jesus, they're worse than I'm saying. One of them is called Psychoanalyst Ball. It makes fun of people with mental health. It says you should just grow a pair, basically. There's no such thing as depression. Latest record project, the title track, is Van criticizing people because they only want to hear his hits. And you think, well, that may be interesting for an artist to say, but you're saying it on someone who's just bought your new album, you dumb fuck. You should be saying that in concert to the people that are shouting, "Do moon dance," not to the people that are actually buying your new stuff. And you signed it as well.
Well, Davey, I won't be picking that up. I'll just say that.
Right? No, it's. I'm actually glad that Van released it, because I will never buy one of his albums again. He's one of the ones where he went so far that, right, Mike Love's a real piece of a real. I mean, he had his picture taken with, number 45. Mike Love's an asshole. I mean, a total prick. But he's a kind of old-fashioned prick where you just saying, yeah, he's an asshole. Van has gone full, like, COVID denier. You're taking away my freedoms. If you want me to stay indoors in my palatial mansion, it just is horrible from start to finish. But his voice is still quite good. It's funny that you mentioned, Grant. It's funny that you mentioned, because who else has been going on this kind of rant recently? These kind of right-wing conspiracy theory things.
I know Clapton's
Eric
doing
Clapton.
that
Well,
Eric Clapton has turned into
I wouldn't say Clapton went on a right-wing conspiracy.
Sorry, Eric Clapton was racist way back in the 1970s. He was on stage telling people why there's so many blacks in the UK. I mean, Eric Clapton's been a POS for a long
did?
time.
But I had no idea.
But I think he was also admit that he was probably drunk and drugged and high out of his mind.
Yeah, see, the
when he
problem
said a lot of that stuff
is
too. But
one of the
I mean,
side effects.
it doesn't make it right.
Yeah,
that he
one
did
of the side
anything like
effects
that.
of alcoholism isn't racism.
No, but it certainly can certainly bring the worst out of people. But yeah, either way, it doesn't excuse it. But yeah, the thing with him with the COVID stuff is he had a bad allergic reaction to the shots, and I think that's really what set him off on a lot of this
what he also started going down the rabbit hole on was he would never pay to what he called a segregated audience, which in itself is a rather offensive term to use when you think of what segregated audience actually means in the context of a rather wider world. Segregated audience used to mean something a little bit different than Eric Clapton not liking masks. So I got this for Christmas, right? So this is my sin. I got this for Christmas, and it is unopened because I refused to listen to this. And he has the cheek to call this, and I don't know if you can make it out here. He has the cheek to call this the lockdown sessions. So, EC.
But you still bought it, though.
No, I got it for Christmas. That's what I just said. I'm not buying any more Van Morrison. I'm not buying any more EC. I got that, and it's still unopened. But it's got Steve Gadd on it, and it's got Nathan East on it, and it's got Chris Stainton on it. So I'm pretty sure it'll be, boring because, it's 2021 Clapton. But, it'll be comfortable. It'll be like an old pair of slippers. But he does some good stuff. He does Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out. He does some Peter Green stuff. He does Black Magic Woman and Man of the World. He does some Derek and the Dominoes stuff. That's one of my favourite albums of all time. So although I won't buy Eric anymore, I'll buy Derek. Bell Bottom Blues, Key to the Highway, those are both Derek and the Dominoes tracks. Layla, Tears in Heaven's on there. Got My Mojo Working. Eric, I don't think your mojo's been working for 40 years, buddy. No, where was my... I should have had something. Yeah. This is a pet peeve of mine as the Beach Boys come tumbling down a bit like their career once they get rid of Brian. Am I right? When you are forced in quotes to buy something that you don't particularly want because they attach music to it. And the offenders here are one of my favourite bands. It's Wilco, right? And this is what the Wilco book. It took them quite a while to come up with that title. Wilco, we're making a book. What should we call it? How about the Wilco book? And it's full of absolutely crap, right? Gibberish, nonsense, nothing artistic that you wouldn't expect in a, baby band's, sleeves. I mean, it's total nonsense. But at the back, you get an unreleased Wilco album from the Ghost is Born sessions in 2004, which is one of their best albums. So to get that, it's never been released anywhere else. You need to buy the bloody Wilco book at 50 quid instead of 10 quid if they just released that. And it's some of their best, most experimental stuff ever. One last one. But this is my favourite band of all time. Marco's a Canadian, so I will say most of the members are Canadian.
Is it Max Webster?
No,
Who is it?
It's the band. This is The Last Waltz. Deluxe,
Oh, the band.
Super Deluxe Edition, which weighs a ton, and it is leather bound. So I'm assuming people are at least familiar with the Martin Scorsese movie of The Last Waltz, even if they're not band fans. They're at least familiar with the idea there was a movie done by Martin Scorsese about the band's last concert. Dylan was there, Eric Clapton was there, Muddy Waters, Neil Diamond was there. But this is a 400-page version, leather-bound, of the band's last concert, all the shooting scripts, all the, I don't know what you call it, storyboards, I guess, where they draw what angles they're going to shoot from and things like that. So it's full of all of Scorsese's original versions of those. And you get Blu-ray audios that have never been released on anything else. It's a real band holy grail, really.
And somewhere Jamie Laszlo is probably chomping at the bit to get that.
It was 400 quid.
Yeah.
So this was not cheap, but it was never cheap when it came out.
You must be a diehard fan to buy that.
I think they're my favorite band of all time from the
okay,
North.
Well, there you go.
I mean, I always say the band are my favorite North American band. The Kinks are my favorite UK band. But yeah, so that was a massive expense. But that was one of those ones where I've got the Blu-ray of The Last Waltz. I've got the 4-album set. I've got the LP. I've got the cassette. I've got the 4K that came out from Criterion recently. But I still need that because it's the most deluxe thing the band have ever been associated with. It's a replica, an exact replica of one that Robbie Robertson had made to give to Martin Scorsese for the 40th anniversary. So it's just a treasure trove. It's from the great folks at Rhino Handmade, who don't put out much anymore, but back in the day they certainly used to put out the most stunningly well-crafted box sets and things. Some great Monkeys re-releases, part of the whole Monkeys comeback in the 90s. And critical reappraisal was because of Rhino Handmade. So I consider that to be an excusable sin. This, I think, will damn me to hell forever. This piece of shit, Van Morrison. And make love, not war. I don't think even the Pope can forgive this kind of shit, to be honest. Yeah.
Ernesto, so you have the I'm going to assume you have the quad tape of the 8-track of the band. That's what I'm going to assume you're talking about.
Quadraphonic.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
apart from that,
well,
the one
Brett's
nothing there.
well, Brett's here, and Brett is the one that came up with this topic. So, Brett, do you have anything to share with the class?
I do. I didn't have as much as I thought I was. Also, hi everybody. It's nice to see everybody.
Hey, Brett.
Hi, Brett.
Like it's been a while.
Hey.
Yeah, I thought I had more, and I guess maybe some. I don't have all my records with me. I was kind of bummed, but I do. I can show you what I do have. Kiss Alive 3, original 1993 release. It's numbered. I guess the reason why it was special at the time was because it was a white vinyl, which from what I understand, you didn't really see much of those at that time. They weren't really, I had read that they really weren't pressing colored vinyls. It says it's numbered. Everywhere I look online says it's numbered, but I can't find the number for the life of me.
Unless you've just got Kiss Alive and you've actually got copy 3, and that's what the 3 is in the front.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I don't see anything about it, but
Did you buy it from news? Or maybe a hype sticker that's vanished or something?
I want to say I thought it was on the hype sticker. It could have been on the hype sticker because I had one too, but I don't have anymore. But I can't remember.
But this was I think I paid a little over $100 for this, which
I don't know. I don't think I
was
paid
worth
that
it
much.
because when I looked on eBay after I'd gotten it, it goes for like triple the price on eBay and on Discogs. I didn't even know this had existed. I went into the local record shop and it just said Kiss Alive 3 white vinyl. I just figured it was the remastered because they were remastering all the vinyls at the time. So, but yeah, this was one of them. That one, like I said, a little over $100. This next one, I can't show the front of the vinyl cover because I don't want to get this video taken
I hope
down.
it's not two. I hope it's not the Two Virgins album.
No, it's
Thank goodness.
It's a Mayhem record.
Nice.
If anyone's familiar with the black metal band Mayhem, they didn't release, but there was a unofficial live record released sometime in the early 90s called Dawn of the Blackhearts. And the controversial thing about the record was that the cover is the legitimate suicide photo of the vocalist.
Oh my God. Oh, there's actually a picture disc you put out of that.
No, it's not a picture disc. It's not a picture disc, but it has this company based out of like Texas did a blood splatter vinyl. And they only released like
I was thinking inside the box.
they only released about 300 copies of it, and I got it for I honestly can't remember. All I know is that I got into a bidding war with somebody on eBay because these things come out and they are gone almost instantly. That's the back of the vinyl, but I won't show the front of the that's the front of the back of the sleeve. I won't show the front of the sleeve. Luckily, it comes with a censored sleeve that I could put on it. Why I bought it, I have no idea. But I guess it's something in there that I can tell people about. What?
It's a good album.
It sounds like it was recorded through a like a play school speak and play, like those old
that's the
things.
appeal of it.
Yeah, I think that's the appeal of a lot of the old black metal records. Is just like, at least I know when I first got into black metal back in like 2005, 2006, I was like, I got to find the worst sounding stuff. And you definitely get it with the early, the early Death, the early Mayhem, the early like Burzum. But we are not going to talk about Burzum or Vart Vikernes.
Does production matter indeed? I need to find the worst sounding record I can find.
Yeah, I want my record to sound like I recorded it in a trash can. Like some of these things make the snare on St. Anger sound good, actually.
Yeah. I mean, Yes's last album sounds like it should be in a trash can. And if it was recorded in one.
But yeah, and I have like some box sets, obviously. Like I have the Ride the Lightning box set, which was like the deluxe one was like at least $250. and it comes with like the CDs, the vinyls. It comes with a replica of a book of lyrics and stuff like that written out by Cliff. And then I have the 2112 box set, deluxe box set, and then the Wall deluxe box set.
Do you have the Destroyer box set?
No, I do not. I at the time I couldn't afford that. My father has it though. I was able to look through it and check it out. It's really cool.
It went out of print really fast, which
I couldn't believe it. Someone actually got that for Christmas for me. I couldn't believe someone would actually buy that thing. The big one, yes, yeah, I have that.
It was
it's awesome.
Good choice to do.
This is another discussion.
Yeah,
but for as nice as this is, and for all the, all the goodies that are in here, that Paris concert, you're telling me you can't get a soundboard recording of the Paris concert, and you're going to use a recording from the audience?
An audience recording,
yeah.
But there are other 1976, 1977 recordings you could have used on here. Why are we getting an audience recording on this?
If only Kiss were currently doing some kind of vault reappraisal series, in which case they would know exactly what's in the vaults from the soundboards. That might be handy to put on something like a Destroyer Super Deluxe.
But I must say that this is beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful box set. Hey Brett, since you were talking about the Wall, you have one of these?
What is that? Is that the
That's a mobile fidelity. This is the mobile fidelity one?
No, I don't have that.
Yeah. I actually got this, I think the year it came out, and we've already discussed about this. Yeah, I looked on Discogs. Somebody in the States, I think for a near mint version of this was selling it for like $250.
Oh wow.
And there's international sellers for like 600. I think whatever again, this was something that somebody got for me for Christmas. And I think it was the year it came out. So I think they may have only paid $30 or $40 for whatever it was at the time. But yeah, so
that's really cool. And I see that's the immersion box set. That's the one that I had bought.
I've got the immersions of Dark Side and Wish You Were Here.
Yeah, and I know they did one for they just did those three. I'm sorry. I don't think they ever did one for Animals. They wanted to. But
yeah, if you heard the story about that, it's to do with liner notes. This is how petty the band are now. That Dave didn't like the liner notes that Roger had commissioned, so they won't release
which
whole box.
Roger was just like, screw it, and he just posted the liner notes online so you could see what it was.
Notes. And then Dave said because he did that, the box set's now indefinitely postponed.
Which sucks because that's one box that I would spend money on because right next to the Wall, Animals is probably my favorite Pink Floyd record.
Here's a question though, somebody else has got the immersion box sets. What the hell's the deal with the marbles?
I don't know.
Every single set has got a set of marbles in it.
And then do the other ones have the scarf as well?
Yes, they all come with the scarf. They all come with marbles. And the most annoying thing, I don't know you, but the most annoying thing about them to me is these CDs just rattle around. They're not.
It's very. There's a lot of cool stuff in it, but it's very poorly put together in terms of keeping everything intact.
I guess it's Pink Floyd. They've not got much money to do this, so they have to be careful with what they do.
Well, I was messaging with Ryan about one that I really wanted to just throw this conversation out the window before. I don't know if Ryan or Brett had any more.
No, that was it. Like I said, and I was looking through, and there's like a bunch of stuff that I know costs a lot of money, but it's like pop punk records that belong to my wife that I don't really care about.
So if as far as anything weird or silly that I could throw out there, so I had this one. It's a Randy Rhoads bootleg, and this is the front cover to it. It's called Randy Rhoads: The Earliest Sessions. So I'm being nice here and hiding up the back cover, because the back cover is a little on the racy side. So why it has anything to do with this girl on the back, I have no idea. From what I have, and you can figure out why I hid some of this, but I mean, some of these tracks, I mean, I think I may have listened to this thing. I might have listened to this thing maybe once or twice,
Dropping the flies here.
but there's a lot of stuff on it. There's like one song here that's not even has anything to do with Randy Rhoads. There's a song called Mr. Cool or Mr. Cruel, and that's an old Killer Kane's sister song that Blackie Lawless did that eventually turned into Cries in the Night that you see on The Last Command.
Yeah.
So why it's on this? I have no idea.
Do you think he played on do you think that version he played on it in some capacity?
No, Randy had no. It was just a really cheaply done bootleg from what I understand, and from what I hear, it sounds, I think, from what I remember, because I only listened to it maybe once.
Yeah.
But from what I heard, it sounds awful. So, but again, I don't think I paid a lot of money for. I might have paid $25-$30 back in the day.
Yeah,
which probably was more than I needed to spend. But
yeah.
Anyway,
the way Marco keeps fading in and out just looks like he's being decapitated by.
Yeah, I have to shut off my background anyways because I brought something to show.
Wait a minute, Ernesto. Though they're supposed to be working on a Creatures of the Night box set. That's the next one.
See, I'm not. Only if they release the one where Paul yells at Vinny.
What's that? Say that again, Brett. What?
I said I think it was on the Creatures tour where Vinny soloed too much and Paul had to yell at him on stage.
Yeah, that's true. True statement.
I wonder if the yells were piped.
I'm just surprised that they're picking Creatures of the Night for the next one.
Yeah, that's a bizarre jump.
I think that's a bizarre pick, but it's not up to me. But do like Rock and Roll Over or like Hotter Than Hell or Jesus, anything else other than Creatures. No offense for anyone who likes Creatures, but it just seems like an odd choice to be that would be the next release.
Yeah, I was still holding out for. I was still holding out for another box
for years.
Probably.
Jinx.
Destroy was quite a weird place to start with the series, and I think it was a case of Stephen Wilson liked that album. That was really why they kind of started there. Like they could get Steve Wilson to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's if you can get Steve to do remixes, people actually collect Steve Wilson remixes who don't particularly like the bands that he remixes. They just buy his remixes, which is kind of bizarre to me, but that's collecting for you, isn't it? We've all got our niches.
Sorry, my room's a mess, and I know why I use background filters.
Oh shit! Now the truth can be told. Holy mackerel!
I brought something though, Grant. I don't know if you want me to show it.
Ahead.
If everybody else is done, or
no, I want you to show it.
Okay, this is I don't have a lot of physical media. Like I used to have a bunch of CDs, UK imports, like all kinds of stuff that I paid a lot of money on, just like obscure stuff and all kinds of things. Now all my physical media is like DVDs, so I have lots of concerts and stuff on DVD. I wouldn't necessarily, I'll just show this real quick. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm embarrassed of this, but I bought all of Elvis's concert DVDs off Amazon for fairly cheap. I could not find the 68 comeback special or the Hawaii special. So I actually ordered these directly from Graceland, from like their shop, their guest shop.
Oh, really?
And they weren't super expensive, but they're really cool. Like the 68 comeback DVD special box set comes with like a bunch of DVDs and like literally like every one of the performances and the rehearsals and the sit down performance and the stand up performance and like both nights and like he did the stand up performance twice with two different audiences and the sit down performance twice with two different audiences. So it's like if you're a big Elvis fan, there's a lot of stuff in there. There's
Mark, I'd say that the sit down performance of Lordy Miss Claudie is one of the greatest rock and roll performances of all time.
Absolutely.
And Baby, what do you want me to do?
I don't. Yeah, and I don't remember how much I spent on those, but they were expensive. They weren't cheap, for sure. But the thing that
here's your super deluxe, Mark. Oh, there's the Blu-ray super deluxe box.
Awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
I've never seen that.
No, I've never seen that either.
Is
That's
that
Blu-ray?
Hey Davey, is that recent?
This was 2018, and it is.
I've
Sony.
never seen that at all.
Came out in the UK anyway. It's 5 CDs and 2 Blu-rays.
Cool. That's amazing. And
So you
I
get
have some other Elvis stuff. I got a 45 and some records. They're usually not very expensive. The thing that I wanted to show, which just kind of goes along with the theme of the show, again, these aren't records, but
It doesn't matter.
something that I'm embarrassed that I spent money on now. Okay, so everybody remembers the Kissology box sets. I'm going Kiss themed here.
Yes,
That's
there you go.
I bought every single one of these when they came out. So I bought them for a retail price, right? Now, later on, when I just started getting into bootlegs, I purchased these. These are called the Ultimate Kissology box sets. So there's 3 volumes of these. Now, the reason why, and I think I paid, this is when I just started into bootlegs, and I actually purchased these from a guy online. Now that I've run around in bootleg circles for a while, I've learned that like bootleg sellers online are kind of frowned upon. And a lot of this stuff people can get for free, and some people take it for free and they try to make a profit off of it. So I think I spent about $35 each for these sets, American, plus shipping or something. Now they're pretty cool. They look pretty professional.
They look good.
Volume 1 has 5 discs in it. Now he laser printed the discs. Now there's no images, but it says what they are.
Yeah.
So this comes with a bunch of stuff that's not on volume 1 of the Kissology set. Volume 2 is 8 discs, and this has a whole bunch of there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. All the discs work. Like the guy sent them to me. He was legitimate in the sense that I paid for them and he sent them to me. Volume 3's got 10 discs, so it's got tons of stuff, tons of material. So I spent about 35 American, maybe it was 40 American. He was selling single shows like Largo 79 for like $20, and then the sets I think were 35 or 40. So I bought all 3 sets. I bought some other single shows from him. Now it is embarrassing for me to admit that, because now that I've been running around in these bootleg circles, like I could get these for free if I wanted to, and I could print the labels myself. So I kind of, in a way, I was kind of had from this guy because he got all this stuff for free, and then he was selling them to people who didn't know any better, right? So in a way, I'm kind of embarrassed that I spent money on these. I've got a chest over there with tons of bootleg DVDs. Most of them I didn't pay for. And all of this stuff I probably could have got for free, minus paying the money to burn it on DVD if I wanted a physical copy and then printing or whatever. So that was what I wanted to show, because these are cool. I'm glad I have them, but I kind of wish I didn't pay for them, because I'm kind of funding people making money off Kiss when all these other bootleggers, I could have got it for free and they trade it freely. So
if Gene sees this video, the lawyers will be out.
this video is going to get taken down.
But Davey, you familiar with this?
Yes, the Unsparked Master stuff. I
downloaded the Spotify, the Smile Sessions. I was listening to it today, Grant.
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff on it that reminds me of, I'm a huge fan of Wizard and Roy Wood, and he was influenced.
I love Roy.
He was influenced a lot by the Beach Boys. And like I can hear the Beach Boys in his music, but when I listen to the Beach Boys, it's like, wow, he almost ripped them off. Like his songs are almost
Roy was a big Beach Boys fan.
So was Jeff Lynne. That's pretty much what the move.
So was Jeff Lynne.
The move then obviously became Wizards, and then ELO, 2 splinter bands of
I'm a big fan of all that stuff, Davey.
But I mean, we looked at this on the Beach Boys thing, but this is how you do a bootleg box set. Of course, these are all factory press CDs.
Oh, there it is. The Smile Sessions. I was just listening to that today.
But it's got this booklet with it, and it's a bootleg.
That looks professional. That looks legit.
It's professional. And they're all factory press. All the Unsurpassed Masters, Beach Boys stuff, CO Tune stuff is great.
Yeah. But all of those
copied. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say all of those like Move CDs, Wizard, Roy Wood, Boulders, all that stuff. I had all that imported from the UK because I could not find any of that stuff in the stores around here years ago. I don't have any of it anymore, unfortunately. I either gave it away or I traded it, or
I don't think any of that stuff was ever released domestically. It was only out in the UK, but Davey probably knows about that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they were massive here, absolutely insanely massive.
Right.
To this day, Roy doesn't need to. I mean, he still does the occasional
Does the
tour.
Christmas shows a lot.
I was about to say the reason Roy doesn't need to is because of that bloody Christmas song. I don't know. It's not really a thing in America, is it? The Novelty Christmas single every year.
Not really.
Can
I know it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I hear it on the radio though.
Christmas number one is. Martin's mentioned this a few times, where in America and Canada they talk about album certifications a lot, whereas over here it's how many single certifications you've had or how many top 10 singles. And the big deal was always the Christmas number one. Famously, Simon Cowell and his bloody pop idol nonsense and what's his other show, X Factor, they monopolized the Christmas number one all through the 2000s. By releasing their new winners single on December the 18th, so it'll be number one for Christmas Day. And then in 2008, I want to say, there was a big online push to have one act knock Simon Cowell off number one. So in 2008, the Christmas number one was by Rage Against the Machine. So yeah, that was quite the change from Simon Cowell.
Yeah, well, I know when I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day came out, they had a friendly competition with Slade and Merry Xmas Everybody, and I think Slade overtook them and got number one.
That makes even more money for Noddy Holder, yeah. I mean, Noddy literally will only do I mean, if people don't know what we're talking about, it'll sound gibberish, but the It's Christmas line that he does in that, where he just screams, "It's Christmas!" He did that for so many people for so many years that he now only does it for charity donations.
Yeah.
It's insane. But,
Slade's another great band.
yes, Slade's live record is as good as any Kiss live record, I reckon. Yeah.
Well, Slade is nothing here in the States at all. I don't know what they were like in Canada.
If it wasn't for these guys.
Well, they had a lot more
A little
influence on them later, like in 82, 83. Yeah, but
Yeah, and
I'll tell you what, Keep Your Hands Off My Power Supply was pretty good with Run, Run Away and My Oh My.
well,
And,
you know, John, that's funny that even was a hit here. They never had any hits prior to that,
No.
but that
No, I
was
think, like I
played
said,
on
thanks to Quiet
MTV.
Riot.
Yeah.
we were having a
Riot
discussion.
doing a couple of their songs. I mean,
We were having a discussion on. You're on so many shows. Sometimes you forget where you've. Was it on Bruce Springsteen's podcast with Barack Obama that I said this? But in fact, I think it was where Kiss, as I've said to a few people recently, did nothing in the UK until Crazy Nights in 1987. They had no albums.
Oh, really? Yeah.
None. No singles, no albums, no nothing. But we had Status Quo, we had Slade, we had the sensational Alex Harvey band. So there's only.
I love Alex Harvey.
I would take Alex Harvey. And, he was, Zal was doing the makeup before Kiss, but so there's only room for so many of those. I know they're not all exactly the same sound, but, that kind of, you don't want to say easy hard rock, but, that kind of gateway hard rock that everybody has, like Kiss are most people's in America. It's like, well, they were what got me into hard rock. Over here, it would be Status Quo for people, or it would be Slade. That's the kind of version over here. So there was no real room for Kiss. And then in '87, Crazy Nights blew up just because that song was, And then their only other hit in the UK was God Gave Rock and Roll to You from Bill and Ted, just because of the Bill and Ted movie. And people like the Rod Argent version, so that became a bigger hit. That's the only two records that Kiss have ever had in this country that's done anything at all.
Well,
I do
timing's
have a
everything.
bootleg. Yeah, I've got a bootleg show on video from England.
Yeah, they've done like
From the
Donington
crazy, from the Crazy Nights era.
And download. So I mean, they have toured. It's one of those things where you've got enough of a cult audience that you can play in the same 10,000 people still come and see you anyway.
Yeah.
But you'll just never really have hit records. And why would they try when they're so big in other parts of the world anyway? So similarly, why would Status Quo try and crack other parts of the world when they can tour Europe forever? They're massive in Germany and things. So when it's not on your own doorstep, sometimes you don't appreciate it. But I was even saying to Ryan after the Aerosmith video we had the other night with yourself, Grant, that Aerosmith, same. They did not have any hits in the UK, album or single, until like the Dude Looks Like a Lady stuff. That late in Aerosmith. Rocks, Toys in the Attic, they never even made the top 100 in the UK.
Wow.
Nothing. So in fact, they never really had a total smash until that fucking Armageddon song.
Well, that was a big hit. I'll give
Well,
it that.
you know,
And you
they
know
wanted
that
they wanted
song,
they wanted
I
to let
like
the
that
UK know
song.
that they just didn't want to make sure they weren't missing a thing.
Hey, well, listen, after that, I wish the asteroid had hit.
So, Davey, you don't
we
like
can
that
dream
song?
on.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, but they didn't. Did they even write that? Was that not one of those like Dan Warden wrote it for them kind of tracks? It's not as if it's
Yeah,
even
Diane Warren
I,
wrote that
I think
song.
that
They
was
didn't- they
Diane
didn't write it.
Warden. Yeah.
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 So it's not as if
It's a
like,
good
oh,
so-
at least they made some good money out of it. Like, Diane Warden's the one that's sitting there laughing all the way to the.
It's a good song. I'll give it that.
Was she the one that wrote that song with Paul for the Detroit Rock City soundtrack where they did a ballad?
Oh,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. What was
think
that
so.
called?
Dan Warden's
Yeah.
one of those. She's up for an Oscar every single year
Yeah,
because she just does
that's right.
like you'll never see her on
That-
stage.
that-
She writes a hit.
Isn't that technically the last song that they all four played on?
No, the recording of Detroit Rock City on that album is the last song they all recorded in the same room for.
Hmm.
Yeah.
The weird thing is
Um,
that movie was quite a hit in the UK because Ed Furlong was quite popular
Nothing
here.
can keep me from you.
The fact that Edward Furlong was popular there is amazing, and he was popular in Japan. And Edward Furlong has an album too, by the
Yes.
way,
Covering People Are Strange.
which is
the
hilarious.
Doors song. Yeah,
It's
I didn't
so
know
nasally.
about that until about a year or so ago, and I looked it up. I'm like, this is wild.
It's incredible. I'd love to meet Edward Furlong.
Are you
Awesome.
calling moi a dipshit? But it was like American History X had just come out, so it was kind of riding that
Sounds
wave.
good.
Oh wow, okay.
He was big he was in a lot of good movies. Like not even.
I
just,
love I love John Waters' movie Pecker, and he's the star of that. He's absolutely fantastic in that.
The funny thing about the Detroit City movie is that the production company was trying to figure out like the perfect weekend to put it out because they wanted to make money off of it, and they were going up against one other movie that they were like, oh, this movie sounds stupid, like it's not going to make any money. The movie that Detroit Rock City went up against its premiere weekend was Blair Witch Project.
Oh, nice. I saw
the
Detroit Rock
soundtrack,
City
didn't it?
twice.
And obviously one movie wound up doing 100 times better than the other. They thought they were like, oh, we have it in the bag. Like this is like a found footage movie. Like nobody's gonna want to see this garbage. And it wound up being like one of the highest, grossing films that summer.
Yeah. I think it's to this day still ratio-wise the most successful independent film ever made in terms of budget versus box office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a somewhat, I don't know. Sorry if this is a little bit off topic, but on a somewhat related.
It's all right.
note,
We're just going. We're just rapping. It doesn't matter.
on a related note to the film Detroit Rock City, the guy in it, Giuseppe Andrews, he was a musician, and like I haven't really listened to a lot of his stuff. Although I saw his movie that came out. What was the movie? It was a documentary about him making movies in the trailer park. Giuseppe makes a movie. If you have not seen it, go out of your way to find that movie. It's a great movie. If you've not seen it, it was directed by the same guy that directed Detroit Rock City, Adam Rifkin,
Okay.
and he.
Well, Adam Rifkin's went on a really big career as well, yeah.
And Giuseppe Andrews ended up in a trailer park, and he used to make films on like no budget, and he used to distribute them around the trailer park and all this stuff. And he was in Detroit Rock City, the movie. Adam Rifkin went and documented him making a film on the trailer park, and it's exceptional. Go out of your way to find it. Came out in 2014. Giuseppe makes a movie, but he was a musician too, and his dad was a musician, and his dad played with some famous bands. Can't remember. He was more of like a session musician, hired gun. And you would know the bands absolutely. But Giuseppe, I've listened to some of his stuff. There's one good song I actually kind of like. But his dad was kind of famous, but his dad, I think, was an alcoholic. I'm going to Google his dad and see what bands his dad played with.
Yeah, I'm on it myself. Yeah.
Giuseppe Andrews. Yeah, I'll look it up. His dad was actually a legit musician, professional musician. I'm Googling it right now. I'll let you know.
Lynn Shea was in that. Remember, she was Ed Furlong's mum. She was fantastic in Detroit Rock City. So Giuseppe Andrews, Cabin Fever, Never Been Kissed. He's entirely disappeared from the public eye as of 2015. So I guess that documentary was his last gasp.
Yeah, he suffers from some psychosis, and I think he's
Give me cinema or give me death is the name that's coming up.
yeah, he has mental health barriers, and I think he has psychosis and stuff like this. He's not. Yeah, he is. If you look around, you can kind of figure out where he is, and it's
I mean, that's
it's
why.
too bad, unfortunately.
Back to this prick. You don't make fun.
I
of
was
people
just
with
gonna
mental
say,
health.
yeah.
It's a real
Just
thing.
listen to the new Van Morrison record.
Yeah,
You know what?
mental health's a real thing.
I'm gonna stop taking my medication. I'm gonna listen to Van Morrison, and I'll get back to you guys in a week.
Yeah, it's disgraceful. You should not make fun of people's mental health. I mean, so Giuseppe's got my sympathies there, but funnily enough, his wiki doesn't mention his dad at all.
Joey Murcia. Discography. I know this is probably way off topic now.
No,
No,
it doesn't matter.
Here, I'll post his name.
It went way off topic a long time ago.
That's his dad's name. Just on Discogs, it looks like
Now we're
he's.
just four dudes just talking.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Looks
see
like
a
he's
Kiss
played
cover
with
band
the
tomorrow
Bee
night.
Gees.
The Bee Gees?
Yeah, I think it looks like he played with the Bee Gees and Andy Gibb and
Betty
a
Wright,
bunch of
Bill
stuff. There's a
Wyman.
bunch of stuff on here.
He's on.
Anyways.
He played on Jive Talking from the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. He's on the Grease soundtrack. Oh, he's on Just But Seriously Folks by Joe Walsh.
Great track.
Yeah, way off topic, but it came up. So sorry, Grant.
Don't worry
Oh,
about
he's-
being off topic.
He's on a Melanie album. Look what they've done to my song. Yeah, he's to work with Bill Wyman quite a lot as well.
Has anybody heard the latest from the soundboard Kiss thing that came out?
Gene,
19
out of all the
1977.
wait, are you talking about the 97, the 77, or the one from Donington 96?
Yeah, 77 was just announced. It's not been
I
released
mean,
yet.
shit. What am I talking
Yeah.
about? The 96 one. Have you
They
heard
put
of
it
it?
in Japan a couple years ago, right? Like
No, it was
2003
from
or something?
this one's from Download, Donington in 96. Woof, man.
Yeah, the
Gene
next
sounds-
one's 77.
Yeah, tell you, if you've ever been to Donington, you don't remember going to Donington. That's a hell of a time. Fantastic.
But Gene sounds terrible on that. I'm just thinking, like, out of all the other shows that they recorded on that on that tour, because there's so much footage of it for bootlegs, like they couldn't have picked a better one. Like, his voice is just so shot.
Yeah, for sure. Do you know the weird thing is that almost kind of helps them this week specifically, and I know Mark, you've done the video on it, but they can at least point to these and say, "Look, we did play live on these. So if you want to hear live, if you want to hear how bad we can be live, would you rather hear this?" You know?
Yeah, good point. Good point. I'm gonna take off, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
See you
Hey,
later.
thanks, Marco, for showing up.
Yeah, I
When's-
finally get to show some physical stuff. Hey, Grant. If we ever do a show on
never,
bootlegs,
I
got
never
tons.
thought. Oh well, let's set it up.
I could show. I've got at least 100 Kiss bootlegs that I could show you. And
Yeah.
they all look like this. They all have sleeves.
I would sit down on that because you've told me about all your bootlegs. I've never seen any of
They're
them.
right here. I can start pulling them out, but I don't know if we have time for that right now.
Do you know what we should? I'm not telling
It
obviously.
sounds
Grant
like a
what you should have-
bootleg.
What you should have
Sounds
on
like
your
a boot-
channel, Grant. But Marco, you mentioned like concert DVDs and things. That there's a whole show in itself as well. Like favorite concert DVDs and for whatever
Oh
reason.
yeah, I've got a bunch of official ones, not just like all the Kiss ones. I've got every Jimi Hendrix show that's been officially
Yeah,
released,
so-
every Elvis show that's been officially released.
Yeah.
I really want to get into Frank Zappa shows, but there's so
There's
many, and I don't even know
not
where to
a lot.
start with those.
Yeah.
But I love Frank Zappa.
Yeah, I've got Zappa. Zappa plays Zappa. There's the classic albums. There's Token of His Extreme. I've got a big Zappa section over there. So yeah, there's 5 to
I'd
show.
love to do that. Yeah, if anybody wants to do that, I'd love to do that. But for now,
I'm
we'll
down.
leave it for next time, and I'll see you later. Thanks, Grant. Thanks.
Later.
For
Thanks for showing us
Yeah,
what's
take
behind
care.
you. That's been an insight.
Oh yeah, forget. Yeah, that's.
Hey, listen, I've got a fucking ladder behind me. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, what's
Sorry,
up with that
everybody.
ladder?
This wasn't my room, and it's now becoming my movie room. But I did it during lockdown thing, so I've actually built a whole room myself, literally like cutting woods and building shelves and things. So yeah, it's been an experience. But I'm also a lazy bastard, so I've never quite finished it. So it's that wonderful combination
I'm not
of
judging.
and laziness.
Davey, I'm not judging.
That's fine. I judge myself, so if nobody else wants to join in. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you, but it is 10:29. I don't know if I have anything else to.
It's 3:30 in the morning here, and I'm still going. So.
Good Lord.
Well,
I've got to be up for record store day in about 7 hours. So.
Oh yeah, record store day is tomorrow, isn't it?
It's record store day part D. It's the ones that just didn't get pressed in time because of the backlog due to Poland had to shut down all their plants and things, and then Sony insisted that Adele jumped the queue, and they pressed so many copies of that Adele it's now taking up shelf space everywhere unsold. So, I don't think we'll be doing that Adele.
So is there like a local store that you go to, or?
Oh, we've got like 10 record stores in Glasgow, yeah.
Really? Holy crap.
I mean, I worked in Lost in Music for years, which was an independent one. And unfortunately, our building was owned by the guy who owned the shop. So we closed down when he got a really good offer for the land itself. So it wasn't due to lack of sales, unfortunately. It was just due to he was offered £1 million. So that will tempt you.
Yeah, that would tempt you. All right. Well, I don't think I have anything else. I mean, you guys want to wrap this?
Yeah. I'm just glad I got to join in for a little bit. So.
Well, Brett, I mean, you did come up with the topic, so I appreciate you joining.
Yeah, not a problem. I thought I had more stuff, but
Do you know one last thing is impulsion. So I will very briefly just say impulsion, where you've seen maybe a band live and you're hyped and you've seen that lineup and you buy something and then about 6 months later you go, why did I do that? And that for me very much is the case with the Super Deluxe of Sabbath 13, which I love me some Sabbath, but I saw Heaven and Hell, the last Ronnie leg before he passed away. And I also saw this tour with Ozzy, obviously, and it was night and day. Heaven and Hell was a fantastic show. All the band were smiling. When it came to this tour, they were just looking like, when's the check going to cash? When are we done? We don't even talk to each other. Why are we playing? That's why. But it still was a really good show. So I went out and bought the Super Deluxe and then listened to it, like, again, 6 months later and went, God, that really is a really shit Sabbath album, isn't it? It's just really slow and, I think someone took umbrage at my comment the other day when I referred to anything that Ozzy does as hot topic metal these days. It's just overproduced crap. Hey, but Tony Iommi's on it. So.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let's end this thing. I appreciate everybody showing up and making comments and hanging out, and there will be another one in a couple weeks. So I don't know what the topic will be.
We bored Ryan so much he just didn't even say goodbye. He just jumped.
Well, I thought we had a better relationship with Ryan, but evidently we don't. Yeah, but don't forget, Ryan. I think Ryan is working on. Well, I don't want to say it out loud.
Uh-oh.
Well, it might be a date thing, or he's young and.
Yes, well, I've heard those stories too, but they're not for public consumption. The videos are, though, if anybody wants to PayPal me. No.
Is that a Dr. Seuss hat? I'm just trying to understand.
No, these are called slouch beanies, where you. These can be for the beanie panel discussion, where you get this little slip down the back. Slouch beanies, and being a slouch, it was just perfect for me. So.
All right, it all works.
Listen, this was a terrific show. Thanks very much for having me.
Well, you never know when these things. You never know how these things are going to go. So, we have a rough topic and we just go with it. So,
yeah. It was nice of Marco to stop by. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it was
Now I'm
fantastic.
going to just review the show that we've done. This is just going to be, let's review the episodes. Let's do that. Grant, it's been a pleasure.
It's been fun.
nice
We'll do it
to meet you.
again. You guys have a good night and enjoy
You
the
too.
record. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Record store day.
Yeah.
All
And
right,
people comment on the video with your sins, people. Comment with your sins.
Exactly. I would plug stuff, but I'm not going to. All right, you
I'll
guys.
plug
Thanks
it
for
for you.
showing up. You plug
Watch
it.
all these videos. They're fantastic. They're varied. They never get repetitive. And just comment, share, subscribe, like. Your granny will like his videos, I promise you. Your husband will like them. Your wife, your kids, your school teacher, your librarian, the guy in the local fishmonger will appreciate Grant Swap Warehouse.
There you go.
Well
I
said.
can't beat that.
No.
All right. Good night, boys. We'll talk to you
Okay,
later.
guys.
Good night, folks.
Good night.